What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me? This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm your host, Anton Daniels. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on, friends and family? What's happening? Does my mic sound nice? Check one, check two. Does my mic sound nice? Check one, check two. Checking in with the family, checking in with y'all, making sure that all is good and all is well. And we're moving on up in the world. All right, so the mic sounds good. I like that. We're moving up in the world, as you can see. We've started to peel the time back slowly. And the reason that we're doing that is because we want to get back to the core thing. The core of what we do, right? And so we want to get back to the 10 o'clock hour. And there's no better time to get back to the 10 o'clock hour than today. So we got a few updates today. I'm dropping a video inside of the Patreon this afternoon. And I'm going out to go vlog some more content to drop inside of the Patreon Wednesday. And we got a live stream tomorrow. So tomorrow we got a live stream on the Patreon for Stock Club. Today we dropping a video on the Patreon this afternoon/evening. And then we dropping another video on Wednesday because I'm going to actually see the Hudson's building. So the most expensive real estate downtown new building opening up next year. And I could drop the hats this weekend, but I ain't going to tell you that I am. I'm going to just drop them, and then I'm going to tell y'all when they dropped. The most expensive real estate downtown, I'm supposed to go and see that at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, which is the incentive to make sure that we pull this show back to 10 o'clock because I want to make sure that I give y'all a good live stream. So, yes, I am going to check that out today. I am looking for my vlog camera that I seem to have lost. If I have lost it, then I'll just vlog it on my cell phone. You know me. I'm going to go and get it no matter what. So, lots going on, lots happening. A lot more shows are coming to the Room 9 channel. As you can see, we was testing out sports yesterday. I think it went incredibly well. The actual result of the game wasn't that great, but the actual show itself was awesome, and everybody seemed to have loved it. I think what I might do is I might move the movie. I don't want to get rid of the movies because I love talking about movies and culture and stuff like that. But I'm thinking that I might move that to a different day, or maybe I'll move it up in the day on Sunday. I'm not sure yet, but we'll have to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we wanted the Knicks too, but that just didn't play out. But let's go ahead and get started with the show. So the first thing that I want to mention to you guys, shout out to everybody that hold us down. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I want to acknowledge some of the earlier supporters of the platform. Mike, that dude, I appreciate you. I also want to highlight my dog, Spencer Campbell. Thank you, Spencer Campbell, for holding us down. Streaming Lions games on Sundays. Maybe. If that's what the people say they want, then that's definitely what we're going to do. Also want to say shout out to Gwen. Says, here's a drink, Anton. Have a great day. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, my beautiful Gwen. I love my snow bunnies. You know I love my snow bunnies, Gwen. Oh, man. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started with the show. So I want to start this show off daily with sentiments from people. All right. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I think that adding that as a piece of the show adds more context to what we see happening out in the streets. All right. So it's a few things that I want to tackle today. It's a lot of different subjects. I definitely want to get to Trump and his take on Taiwan and China. He did an interview with Fox News. I want to get into this AP Swatch conversation because it's a lot going on with that. Definitely want to tell y'all and show y'all the difference between people that think that the economy is bad and collapsing versus the people that think that it ain't doing nothing, that they're not affected by it. So I want to show y'all that. And then we can deep dive into a few more things. Let me acknowledge the people that's inside of the chat. Shout out to PV, Walk on Wood, Vicious, Crown. Brian, I appreciate you, Brian. V. Nicole, my beautiful baby girl. Jordan's World, what up, Jordan? Yeah, Anton, keep movies. Can you do some weekdays like Friday? Yeah, we'll see. I need to get on that movie show, says Urban Renaissance Man. Crown in the building. Ant Dog, what up, though? Enos Louie, I appreciate you. Rihanna, what's up, baby girl? What up? What up? I love my snow bunnies. What up, snow bunnies? Billy Blunt TV, Jesse Xavier. A man, what up, A man? My girl, I found you. See, I found you. I finally figured it out. Yes, I did find you. She said, happy Monday, King. You finally figured it out. Yes, I did. I finally figured it out. I think something wrong with my Instagram, to be honest with you. I think that something is wrong with my Instagram. Real talk. Something is seriously wrong with my stuff. But without further ado, the first thing that I want to get into is this whole AP Swatch conversation. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications, and let's see what's happening.
Watches. I'm not gonna see in debate, and they told me this, they told me that. There are no more watches. You had a ban, you're good. You don't, come back the next time. They release some more. This is not a limited release. This is going into production.
Way more, bro.
It'll be way more.
It's gonna be way more, bro.
I thought y'all said first come, first serve. I took my bag.
Hey, y'all gotta clear this area out, man. I'm not coming in.
Outside in, y'all
No supervisor. All right, come on.
I texted him yourself.
So we're at Swatch and they told us that we have to leave because apparently it's not opening. This is a worldwide thing.
Right, like how do you just change the date for one?
You guys gotta go.
Do you know when
The
they...
event is canceled. Check their social media to see when they repost it.
We did. It's not canceled on that.
It is canceled. I'm
Can
telling
you
you
show
that.
me though? Because I just checked.
Okay,
We drove
it's
multiple
canceled.
hours.
They
It's
locked the
raining. We're
doors.
being
The
peaceful.
mall's not opening.
We're not arguing.
They want you to leave.
Yeah, right? Nah, he's recording. He's cuffing him for what?
He didn't do anything, bro. They're fucking nuts.
What did, actually, no, actually, what are they arresting him?
gotta go. They do not want you here. You won't be back.
He got Zell. You might need to upcharge that, my boy. 2,000. Oh, he made an instant profit. What the hell? Myself?
What you getting?
I was trying to get a black one for my brother, but that didn't happen. It's okay. Yeah, I still want it.
Here, take my number.
Okay. You're not gonna charge me $2,000, right?
No. I won't charge you $2,000. You let me take you to Lake Colonial.
To where?
Lake Colonial.
What is that? $2,000. That's how much he's selling that for.
Would you sell it? Would you sell it?
Oh, brother, please.
Now, if you're looking at these videos, right, and you paying attention to what I'm paying attention to, the reason why I think that this is interesting is for a couple of different reasons. Number one, never underestimate the power of consumerism. Whenever people are running around talking about, oh man, we broke, we ain't got no money, milk costs X, bread costs Y, eggs cost Z, and let me tell you the first thing that they're gonna lead with. All right, because we're gonna talk about this whole broke narrative, because I'm still feeling some type of way based off of the conversation that we were having on After Hours, when people were trying to tell me that everybody is out here suffering and they broke and they're having problems. And I'm like, I'm cool. All right, cool. If that's what's happening, but that's not what I see, because I see people lined up outside of Swatch. Question, because I have never seen a line outside of Swatch in my entire life. I've never seen a line outside of Rolex, outside of AP, outside of Swatch, outside of none of that, right? The most recent two things that we can ever see a line outside for is sneakers, and that kind of went away because of the pandemic, and consoles. Whenever they release a new console, PS5, whatever, is usually a line outside the door, right? And so I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, everybody talking about they ain't got no money, everybody broke or whatever. And so over this past weekend, worldwide, this ain't even just in the United States, but we're going to focus on the United States. There are people that are wrapped around the building in every single major city in the United States of America. And I'm like, what? I thought everybody was broke. I will never, ever take the culture serious. I don't care if y'all think it's a recession. I don't care if y'all think that we thriving. I will never, ever. Zay says you don't know their debt situation. It doesn't matter what their debt situation is, because they're finding the money to do the thing that is meaningful to them. Because guess what we're fighting over in the culture? We're fighting over whether or not you should line up to get ID to vote. We can't get a 20% voter turnout rate, yet we see people coming out in droves. No special marketing. You ain't got to spend billions of dollars like politicians do in order to try to get the word out. You can't get people to line up to make sure that they vote. You can't get people to figure out what's going on inside of their communities. You can't get people to go to the city council meeting. You can't even get people to show up to school. People won't even register for their kids to go to school. But yet we find time to wake up early in the morning. It's people that was camped out in New York. They were camped out for 5 days. No shower, no sleep, sleeping on the concrete. And they were pissed because the line had got messed up or something like that. And they were pissed. You willing to blow 500, 700, 400, all of this money, right? You willing to blow thousands of dollars, but yet you can't figure out how to vote. You can't figure out how to take care of your business. All of a sudden, everybody ain't got no money when it's meaningful. I'm amazed. I'm always, and I'm not surprised. I'm amazed. It's a difference. I'm not surprised. I'm amazed. Because guess what? When I go to the airport, it's pumping. It's full. It's bussing. It's bussing at the airport. Bro, outside this weekend, it was so many people outside stunting. They had on all the luxury goods. They had on their chains with their names made on it. They had on all of the designer clothes and all of that. They was way fresher than me. I put up the lamb this weekend. I was 10 toes down trying to focus on working and taking care of business. I went and got my regular SUV, my daily. And everybody was outside. They was in stunt mode. Armor had to be sold out from every auto parts store that you can think of. Every wheel was wet. Every car was washed. They told me that repossessions was up, but it wasn't up this weekend apparently. For whatever reason, in the middle of the month, it wasn't even the first of the month. Everybody got money and they was blowing it out here in these streets. Billy Ray said she heading to Vegas on Wednesday. Real talk. Everybody got money. So when I see this pop out, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, then that means that we shouldn't be concerned about what's going on in the economy, huh? Bro. Look at how many, and there's no separation. It's Indians out here, it's Asians outside, white people, Black people, Latinos, everybody is in line to go and try to buy their AP watch. For a watch. You can't get people to show up to work on time, but they're going to be there early for that watch. Shout out to Slimmy. Shout out to my dog Slimmy in the building. They gonna show up for that. I'm reading Super Chat shortly. They gonna show up for that watch though.
This is fucking crazy as fuck, man.
Look at this.
No fucking way.
You will never in life catch me in the crowd like this. You will never ever in life catch me in the crowd waiting for a watch drop, hoping that I can get one. And I'll pull them up. I'm going to pull them up on StockX and show you what they're selling for.
You're not selling the watches. You're not selling, shutting it down. They canceled.
No watches today.
Diversity, equity, inclusion out there.
They're not selling watches. They canceled.
They had so much chaos and commotion that Swatch had to shut down some of their stores for safety reasons and get super security out there.
Because of how you all acted, they canceled.
Te perdí, güey. Oh my God, bro, this is ridiculous.
This is insane, bro. Dude's pants is falling off his butt. Women is out there trekking to try to hunt it down. They over jumping the barricades. They running people over. They trampling. People is falling. I'm just asking. What did I miss? What did I miss? Boom, 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 boom. What did I miss? So where am I off? When I say that I don't believe that there's a recession, I'm trying to figure out what did I miss? For a plastic watch. For a plastic watch, People is out there, bro. I'm just saying, what did I miss? I'm just trying to figure out where our priorities are. We won't vote. We don't show up to our city council meetings. We have no clue about what's happening inside of the neighborhood. But we're lining up to get a plastic watch that is a possibility that you may not even be able to get. That's also going to be mass produced, and there's no. And here's the key: there's not going to be a shortage of them. I was talking to my guy, my watch guy. He said, "Oh, Anton, I think they mass producing that." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "It ain't even gonna be no limit." He said, "It may be a limit in the beginning because of how many that they're gonna try to produce, to try to get it off." He said, "It ain't even gonna be." He said, "I don't think it's gonna be a shortage of them." So I said, "Well, why are people crashing out?" He was like, "I don't know. That's just the culture." Nope, don't say it's a small percentage of people compared to the rest of the world. Nah, man, listen, y'all got to stop that, bro. Y'all got to stop that. Y'all got to stop making excuses for what we see with our own eyes. Our eyes are not deceiving us. We're not crazy. I'm watching it right now. I'm watching pandemonium. I'm watching people go crazy. It's trending everywhere. It's like, listen, the only two things that's trending right now, the main things in culture and society, outside of sports, obviously, people are more concerned with this than they are about Taiwan. People have no clue about Taiwan, but they're learning everything that they can about the Swatch AP collab. This and the Sean Gathright, which we're going to get to that today too. Y'all can't keep lying to me and telling me that it's different than what my eyes are watching.
Yo, Joe! Joe! Yo, Joe!
Hand beating over each other.
Joe! Joe! Joe!
Anyone lining up for AP? Dog 5. That's the line so far. Dog 5.
They don't understand that part. You're gone. You're still here.
You got that soft ass arm. Go get a real job. Go apply for Atlanta TV. Hey, go apply for ATV. You got that soft ass job. Go apply for ATV. Hey, go apply for ATV. You got that soft ass job.
It's right there.
Go apply. Go apply. You got that soft ass job.
How you gonna tell somebody that they got a soft job? What does that mean? What is that even? What is that? What are you saying? So you basically saying that he's worth less because even people that ain't even got no money are telling other people that is working and making money on the clock that their job is soft because they in line to get a watch that they're not gonna be able to have access to. Okay.
We outside the mall for this AP watch. Let me show you how many people out here. We not even supposed to be on the premises. Yesterday they said you can't even get on the mall premises till 7:30 in the morning. It's currently 6:44. Let me show y'all what it's looking like. This is all the people in the front. I can't even get like all those people. And then you have all those people. And it's still people coming, y'all. People is in the Old Navy parking lot. They in the Chase parking lot. They camping out everywhere. And the thing with Orlando, you couldn't camp like from yesterday because I'm sure people.
Somebody said y'all must don't got 400 to spend. I find that interesting because when I'm having conversations on this platform about what's affordable and what's not, people will sit here and tell me, well, most people don't have $500 to $1,000 in the case of an emergency. And then you telling me y'all must don't have $400 to spend. So which one is it? Which one is it? Is it that people got it or is it that they don't? Is what I'm trying to understand. Is the rent too high or is it not? I just want some consistency, and I'm trying to understand what's happening in the culture. Do they have it or do they not have it? Because y'all tell me two different things depending on the conversation that we having at the time. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Don't worry about it. We're going to get there today. We're going to talk about it today before I head over to the Hudson's building. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Good morning, AD. I'm loving the new start time. Well, that's the goal. Shout out to my dog, Swigs. Swigs in the building. Thank you for supporting the platform and holding me down, Swigs. Thank you. Chosen has a couple of super chats for me. Chosen says, Anton, you are no longer an equal accountability smoke giver because you won't address Chud the Builder. You renounce black culture, but not white culture. Interesting. All right. So, hey, listen, y'all, I'm going to address this, but let me address this next one too. Let's put them both up there. Chosen says refusing to give visibility to a problem does not make it go away. So why not address racism along with black fatigue? That's hypocrite behavior. All right, so let's talk about it. I like black people. And so it's the same as chastising your children. I love black people. I don't like what we promote in black culture, which is one of the things that I like to address. So because I like people and black people and white people, I address the problems that I think can be changed. The difference, though, is when it comes to content creators, I don't give visibility on my platform to people that I don't care for. So this may not resonate with you, but let me go ahead and give you a little bit of insight. I don't review Nick Fuentes because I don't want to give more visibility into somebody that helped them become more profitable as content creators. If I see an issue happening within the culture, I'll address that issue specifically. However, I won't give visibility to people that are profiting off of rage baiting and pushing a negative narrative for no reason at all. That's the difference. If I don't like you, why would I promote you and give you visibility onto your platform? Why would I even give credence to something so that more people can go and go to his GoFundMe? Because I heard that his GoFundMe is already over $1 million because you keep getting fake outraged at something that don't even concern you. Why would you help put money and visibility into the pocket of somebody that you don't like? If I continue to sit here and listen to you guys as willing to crash out because you so race focused, then all I'm doing is contributing into the pocketbooks of people that we don't care for, which is completely different to reacting to things that I don't like within the culture. If somebody is intentionally rage baiting you and you fall for the okie doke by feeding into the narrative so that you can do exactly what they're planning for you to do, how does that help? If they set the play, because if you're dumb enough not to believe that he already knew what the reaction was going to be and that you was going to fall right into the whole okie doke, why would you do it? Why would you feed into something and you know that this is purposely what they're trying to get you to do? It's not even authentic. It's not even real. It's not even something that they're just mistakenly getting into. Oh man, we got to address this because did you see what happened? That was crazy. No, they're going out and trying to get a reaction from you and you're giving them what they want. And then you come on my platform to give them what they want when I already addressed 5 times last week that we don't feed into stuff that we don't necessarily care about that's not adding value. There's no lessons to be learned from it. So now, because you want me instead of, if that's what's meaningful to you, why don't you start a platform and you have a conversation about it? What is it that you want from me that wants to continue to put money in people's pocket that I don't care about? Why would I want to familiarize myself with somebody that's trying to use bigger people's platforms to give visibility into their own? I didn't even know who this guy was until a couple of weeks ago when y'all started getting intentionally offended at him. And now all of a sudden, you've given more visibility to it. That is the dumbest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. Why would I go and give more views to a video that they're profiting off of? You the dummy. You're the dummy. You're the tool. And this is why I know you will never, ever be able to solve problems within a culture, or you'll never be able to get people to think their way through a situation because they're easily manipulated as soon as somebody... I can go out right now and do a rage bait video in the streets, and I know I can make it go viral immediately. We so dumb. We are so stupid and dumb. And it's like, even if you didn't know better before, how many more people have to play the same play on social media and you fall right into it? I remember y'all used to come to me with different women that y'all didn't like. Oh man, I don't like her. I don't like the sprinkle girl. Anton, get on her. But you think that her platform went away? All we did was make her more famous. So now we introduced her to we did what I do to people. I push somebody's buttons that's lower than me, and so that they can talk about me and introduce me and introduce all of my videos into the people that their audience's algorithm. I swallow up their audience, and then they come in and say, oh man, I actually do like Anton, and so I'm gonna become a bag chaser. They don't benefit any from it. I take all of their audience because they can't help but to continue to keep me in the algorithm. Now, why would I let somebody else do that to me? Unless I let y'all continue to have me answer these stupid ass questions that don't add no value into what we got going on. Let me ask you another question. I'm 44 years old. A lot of y'all are old too. You unk now. What is it about this situation that you have not seen before? 1,000 times. How many times in our 4+ decades, almost 4.5 decades on this earth, how many times do we have to talk about the same thing and fall for the same trap only to give visibility and for them to have some kind of GoFundMe and then for them to become millionaires? How many times do we have to fall into the mousetrap before we realize, you know what? That's not even real cheese over there. That's why I got the Patreon, man. I'm going to be honest with you. That's why I love the bag chasers and the Patreon, because when I live stream with them, I don't have to talk about this low-hanging, low vibrational, so dumb, bottom of the barrel content for no reason. I could just go in when we live stream tomorrow on the Patreon. We could just go in and get straight to it and start talking about something productive. I don't even have to put the medicine inside of the candy. I could just talk my talk and we have a good conversation. And we run it up. I don't even have to do all of this foolishness. We just get straight to it, answering questions, how we run up a bag, what's our next play, what we investing in. This is my learned lessons. This is how I've messed up. And so these are my learned lessons, but I've been successful on this end. Let me show y'all the receipts. It's all just straight up. I don't have to do none of this nonsense. There's no having to shuck and jive and talk about low-hanging fruit just to make sure that I help somebody else at some point throughout the stream. It's so dumb. We so low vibrational and low-hanging fruit. That's why you're always going to see more people lining up for a plastic watch than you will actually having a conversation with your city council members in order to fix what's going on inside of your neighborhoods and your cities. That's why I gotta have a balance. So stupid. And here's the thing. I address it and say, hey, I don't want to get no visibility to somebody that I don't care for and I don't agree with. And then they keep on coming. Anton, but please talk about it. Please talk about it. Please talk about it. Please talk about it. Please talk about the racist. Please talk about the person. Please. Oh man, we want to. Anton, please talk about it. And I'll be like, okay, let's say I talk about it. Will it make you feel better? Is it going to put some more money in your pocket? Do you think that this is something that you should be focusing your energy and your life force on? Or should we be becoming more mindful of the things that we're consuming? Or should we be focused on what's happening locally? Should we be more focused on what's happening politically? Should we be paying attention to international law? Is there something else that we could talk about outside of just this foolishness? Or should we just keep on dancing around white people all day? Anton, they said this. I don't care. I'm not investing in their neighborhoods. I'm not putting my money in there. I don't feed them. I'm not in the streets trying to figure out what it is that I can do for them. Why do I care about somebody that don't care about me?
Taxes and where do our taxpayer dollars go, and we're so inefficient, we need.
So now in this video, apparently, I just literally went to and Googled it. Apparently, he had already raised, as of this time, when was this? Look at all of the visibility that he's getting. 2 days ago, he had already raised over probably close to $250,000 because y'all wanted to give visibility to it. Okay, so you got what you wanted. Now what? You happy? You happy? People that would have never known him, if you would have completely ignored him and gave him no energy, no motion whatsoever, then he don't even exist. We don't see a GoFundMe. We don't see none of this. We don't see him becoming famous. We don't see anything. But because we gotta promote something and give visibility to something that don't mean nothing. Now more people than ever before know who he is, and he'll be able to leverage that visibility. It's not even entertaining. It's not even interesting. It's not even entertaining. It's not even interesting. It's not even meaningful. Good morning, Heavenly. Well, good morning, Mimi. Good morning. You want me to spend my time as though, listen. This is the last thing I'm going to say on this. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of middling content creators that have never really created anything great for themselves, and that don't have nothing better to do than to gossip like little girls. They love only talking about anything that could piss you off, and that's why they platforms is hit a ceiling. All right. There's no shortage of these people that are covering this situation. No shortage. Just go and watch theirs. I like talking about money. I like talking about politics. I like talking about culture. I like talking about how it comes back to the money, where the money is in it. And so on this show, that's what I spend the majority of my time talking about. Why do I have to cover it when everybody has covered it, overly covered it? I don't even want that in my algorithm. Ain't even no money in that. YouTube don't even like you. Blue the Globe says they line up for that Popeye's chicken sandwich too. Facts. B Hunter, that spot says, what up, though? What up, B Hunter? Just a Brown Girl in America says, good morning, Anton. Hope your weekend was amazing. It was tumultuous. I was so toxic this weekend. I'm not even gonna lie to you, Just a Brown Girl in America. I'm still trying to get my bearings. I might have had one of the most toxic weekends that I've had in a long time. I'm not even gonna cap. Like I got my water over here, and I'm trying to detox, and I'm trying to figure out how to get my life together. I had to get up in prayer. I had to get I was consecrated this morning. I said, God, no cap, for real talk. I said, God, what happened this weekend? It was all a blur. It's all a blur. I don't even know what my vlog camera is. I'm not kidding you. I don't even Slimmy know. Slimmy know. So I said, I don't even know where my vlog camera is. I'm missing all kind of stuff, bro. I don't even want to tell you some of the stuff I'm missing. I was going through my book bag and stuff. I said, where did I leave it? Oh my God. Look, bro. It was the most incredibly fun, toxic weekend that I've had in a long time. And so I talked to God this morning. I said, listen, God, I come to you with a humble heart and repentance. I said, I'm going to do better this week. I promise I'm going to do better this week. So, yeah, man, it's been an interesting weekend, bro. Waking up in the morning like, what is my life is like? You know what I'm saying? Just a brown girl in America. Says, I love a good morning, Monday morning derailment. We are angels. Man, let me tell you, just a brown girl. The Genius CEO says you have to understand that Black YouTubers see you as a leader. Your opinion matters. Well, I gave my opinion. They don't do what I tell them to do anyway. They're going to do what they want to do so that they can still have poor platforms. You know what the worst thing is about Black YouTubers? 99% of them is going to do it their way, even though you already know exactly how it's going to turn out. So then I say, nah, we need to do it differently. And so they don't listen to that. They just keep doing what they've been doing. And then they just still stay in the mud. And they wonder why other content creators and YouTubers that have a different hue to their skin is actually doing well and doing better than them. You've seen them one, you've seen them all. Promise you. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. I want to go into something else. I'm gonna play two different types of videos, but I'm gonna break them into two different segments. All right. Well, actually, I want to back up for a minute. I want to revisit this Sean. I'll come back to the money. Let's come to this Sean Gathright conversation.
And based on Mr. Gathright's age, physical abilities, things like that, do you think that the prison would benefit from him in a work capacity if he were sentenced to life without parole?
I say yes. With my experience, not only just in classification, but as former warden and even as a jail administrator, he's someone that's young, he's healthy. In reality, we need that labor, we need that sweat equity, and we will put him out there to work because we do have an aging prison population, jail administration. We have that, so we put these young individuals to work and get some sweat equity out of them since they are young and actually can do the work.
So, black people are outraged at Sean Gathright or Gathright being sentenced to life in prison instead of, now, let me help y'all to understand something. They are already guilty. They are facing the death penalty in Florida. They hunted this guy down. They hunted this Julio Fulio guy down for 2 days. They drove countless miles to execute this boy. They killed him in cold blood and then drove back, stole guns, took a whole nother man's life. The only way that the judge was to spare him was because the lawyers and the prosecutors made the plea that he would actually be a more productive person. Because remember, the death penalty isn't even immediate. On average, and I looked this up, it takes about 20 years before you finally meet the death penalty, meaning that you're just sitting there throughout the appeal process and all of the red tape before we actually go through exhaust your appeals for something that you actually was convicted of doing. And then you, again, let's remember, you take somebody else's life, you kill somebody. As innocent as they try to make him look, and as much as they dress him up right here, he's a killer. Stone cold, AK-47, shoot you in the body, take your life, go home and act like nothing ever happened. Killer. A straight up 1,000% killer. So they're asking all about jail conditions and stuff in order to determine whether he should get the death penalty or and stay on death row for the next 20 years, or if he could actually pay his way, right? Because remember, we're spending $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. Let me pull it up. How much to house an inmate per year? On average, it costs $60,000 to $70,000 annually per inmate. More than $120 a day if on the low end of $44,000 per inmate. Average cost to house a U.S. inmate, and it varies from state to state. Average is $60,000 to $70,000 a year, according to the Federal Register and the Bureau of Prisons. That is how much it costs to protect society, to maintain the facility, to have guards, to have a warden, food, clothing, electricity, electronics, the whole 9 yards. It costs roughly $60,000 to $70,000 per inmate per year. Now they said, okay, well, we need to get some sweat equity out of this boy because we need to make sure that we get the true cost back. At the very least, they need to be paying for themselves by being productive, and maybe they don't make no money off of license plates or whatever they did. We as a society are paying for them to be in prison because they can't control themselves on the outside. So now people are mad at this trial, specifically black people are mad because they said that we need his sweat equity Because for the next 50 to 60 years, he's just going to be sitting up there with an iPad and a boyfriend inside a prison.
Will still have that inmate number. An inmate serving life will never, ever get out. There is no parole in the state of Florida, and they're not ever allowed outside the razor wire and the fence of a secured facility.
What happened to Sean Gathright in that trial was necessary for everybody to see. It was necessary. It needed to happen because y'all done got too laxed when it comes to this pro-black thing. This is why we had a problem with y'all letting that bar slide about Kendrick freeing the slaves. Y'all took that too lightly. And so here we are, 2026. His lawyer was pleading for his life by basically selling him into state-sanctioned slavery. Wrap your mind around that. Y'all needed to be reminded of where you are. You needed to be reminded that you're behind enemy lines.
Black culture is protecting a killer that admittedly killed and hunted another black person. Remember, they didn't do this to just a regular person. They did it to another black person. He killed another. Y'all not going to believe me, bro. Y'all not going to believe me. Let me show you something. I just couldn't believe it when I seen it.
Quick update about my situation. Right now they got me in confinement. It's just a protocol thing after Friday, but I should be out of here soon. And reaching back out to everybody. I've seen, I've heard that a lot of y'all have been reaching out to my Instagram page at the official Sean G. This is my real page. This is the page that I will be communicating to the outside world from, through my management team and stuff like that. I really appreciate.
Be your management team. Through your management team? What the? Through your management. This is his official Instagram, right? He got a management team now. Look at the comments, yo. Look at the comments. I don't care what anyone says. None of those men received a fair trial. Neither of them deserve life sentences. I also think that there were more people involved. I don't think he deserves life. He should do 15 or 20, but not life. Everybody was wrong. Hey, the fact that people are still trying to support after everything that has happened shows God's light in the darkness. Keep your head up and keep going. I screamed yes so loud when she says life with parole. I was so thankful it wasn't the death penalty. I hate the victim shame, but that boy brought this on himself. I watched the whole trial, praying for you and your family. Seeing your sister testify made me cry. Send money to the families, bro. They did this for you. Let's run up his Cash App. Free you until it's backwards. Only God can judge you. Free this innocent man. God forgave each and everyone. Stay talking to God, because I can't judge no man for wrong. This is insane, bro. I'm behind 100%, Sean. Free you, bro. It's insane. Hard times don't last long. Solid people do. This is a killer. This is a straight up killer. This is not a drug deal. This is not taking something from the bank. This is not some stupid weird domestic charge. This ain't I stole a car. This is I went and killed somebody. And listen, they hunted him down and killed another black person. And this is what you see happening from the culture. And now they want to blame it on white people. They saying that, oh man, we behind enemy lines. They sold him into slavery. What? And this is why I don't care about what society thinks anymore, because society is broken. It is a broken culture. It is a broken society, and everybody is fooling and everybody is playing. Everybody playing, bro. Like, why would I take serious people that are supporting a killer? So that means, think about this for a second. That means that if something was to happen to one of your loved ones, let's say somebody hunted her down or hunted him down and killed them because they didn't like them or they didn't like what they represented or whatever, they would be more compassionate towards the killer getting out of jail than they would towards the victim that actually suffered the horrendous situation and the family of the victim that no longer has the person there that you killed. We're more compassionate towards the killer than the victim, than the families of the victims. That means if something was to happen to me, then there would be somebody in a culture that supports the people that did something to me and saying we need to free the guys because he don't really, if you killed him, man, listen, you don't deserve life, bro. You don't need to take a life, give a life. You need to make sure that you get out between 10 and 15, man. Somebody says Jesus and Barabbas. This ain't got nothing to do with Jesus and Barabbas because Jesus didn't do anything to anybody. This got something to do with the culture. Remember, in the story of Jesus, the people crucified him. They called for Jesus's head. You talking about what Jesus did. I'm talking about what the people that crucified Jesus, why did they pick him to be crucified and was willing to let go the people that was the killers, the other people that's in society and the culture? I'm talking about the culture. Why did they call for him to be crucified in the first place? You still don't follow him. After all that he did in his sacrifice in order to give you the comforter, and you still don't rock with him anyway. So what difference do it make? Why are we talking about what Jesus said instead of paying attention to the fact that the people was asking for Jesus to be crucified? They wanted to let him go, and the people said, nah, crucify him for calling himself the King of the Jews. We're sitting here talking about what Jesus said. Jesus knew he was going to be crucified. That's why he asked Peter to pray with him overnight. He knew he had to give his life. He said, if you were able to take this cup from my mouth, this is what he was telling God as he was praying to him. If you were able to take this cup from my mouth, but I understand, let your will be done, not my own. And so I got to go through with this. He was mourning what he was about to go through before he went through it. Because he knew that the very people that he was coming to save actually was turning his back, and those were the ones that wanted to crucify him. So what we talking about? He knew that somebody was trading on him, and he was a disciple. He chose him anyway. Knowing that he was going to do something negative to him, knowing that he was going to trade with him, he chose him anyway, knowing that he was going to be betrayed by the very people that was the closest to him.
for silver, for pennies. We broken. Don't feel like outcasts. Don't feel like you're out here by yourself. No, we are living in broken, horrible, horrific times where if you are a good person or you want the best for people or you see things logically, the world is going to try to tell you that you crazy. They gonna tell you, no, do what we want you to do, react to what we want you to react to, and play it how we want you to, because we control you. We didn't find you because you was great. Somehow, some way, because we got access to be able to type in the chat, somehow we now control what you are going to do. I was thinking to myself, I was popping before I ever found you. Before you, but let me revise that. Before you ever found me. You can't tell me what to talk about. You talking, you watching me, not being the other way around. Yeah, here we are. Always a t-shirt for the killer and not the victim. Free him. Free the gas. Free the gas. Don't let them tell you that you're crazy. You're not crazy. You're not crazy, bro. You're not crazy. The world is crazy. And let me show you what else is going to be waiting for them since we here. Let's back up from that.
What's up, everybody? World from the comment.
I worked as a juvenile correctional officer. And looking at the guy, Sean Gathright, whatever his name is, he not gonna make it, bro. I feel so bad for him because he wouldn't even made it in juvie. And I'm so serious when I say that. He wouldn't have even made it in juvie in the PC unit. He would have went to the PC unit and he wouldn't have made it there crying like that. He wasn't even raised in the hood.
You so right, bro. Fireman. Hey, fireman, you hit the nail on the head. The majority of us will have to work the rest of our lives, and we got mad that the judge showed him mercy and was willing to put him to work for. Yo, we got to grind every day for the rest of our life. And it ain't no guarantee that we're going to be able to put food in our mouths. But we want him to have an iPad, a JBL speaker, time out on the yard, playing laser tag, and a boyfriend in prison, and that he not have to work at all. Make it make sense, bro. We want him to have a good time for being the killer, but we got to work every single day, and we got to make sure that he have a good time with our taxpayer dollars.
He never got in trouble, didn't even get a chance to go to juvie to see that's the easy version. You know what I'm saying? That's where you get taught how to do the big boy jail. Basically, that's what they doing in there. Them juveniles is basically being taught how to survive in the bigger prisons. Okay? You getting a little smidgen of a taste. It's easier, but you getting a little smidgen of a taste. The fact that they about to put that boy straight into the big boy jail, I feel so bad for him.
Here's the message that I want to convey to you guys. It's better to be a law-abiding citizen that don't kill people than to be sitting here on a prison throne knowing that you probably about to be somebody's boyfriend and girlfriend at the same time. It's always better to be lame. It's always better to be safe. Anytime that somebody is telling you in the culture that you need to be tougher, you need to be supporting this, don't let nobody bully you. Don't never let nobody bully you. It's always better to be us than it is to be them. It's better to get money than to be giving butt. We can end the stream right there. Just with that final statement, it's better to get money than to give butt. It's a lot of women that don't even like to give butt. They're like, hey, you in the wrong side. You at the top, not the bottom. Go down to the bottom. And they gotta involuntarily give bottom. It's better to not give bottom. It's better to not be a bottom. He said giving butt is crazy. You got to pay for that commissary. Imagine, because see, we keep talking about women selling box, right? They giving it up for less in prison. They giving it up for oodles and noodles. Oodles and noodles. Oreos and ho-hos. It's people that owe interest on their Oreos and ho-hos, and they got to give up something for that. They got to give up. They got to give face. They got to hold on to somebody else's pocket, a grown man's pocket. They got to color their lips. They got to put on makeup. They got to cosplay. And then they got to get grabbed off of the top bunk. Get down here. Talk to me nicely. Got to pay that off. Got to pay that off. Yep, they put nail polish on them. The whole nine. Using Kool-Aid for makeup. You said, Anton, chill. No, because we like to glorify this. See, hopefully somebody sees his situation and says, you know what? I changed my mind. I choose not to do criminal activity. I choose not to kill people. I choose not to carry around switches. Maybe somebody sees that and says, you know what? I don't want to be sexed. I don't want to be targeted for my butt. Imagine you walking down the line, long road. You walking in, you checking in, you coming into the prison system, you get all of your clothes. Wait. Sorry, sir. This is a full body cavity search. Put your prison inmate clothes down. We need you to bend over and cough naked. I'm sorry, what? You said bend over and cough naked? Bend up. We got to make sure there's nothing up there. I can go home when I want to. I can go home when I want to. I don't have to lay next to a grown man taking a dump right next to me. What do you mean? You about to use the bathroom? You about to do a number 1 or a number 2? I'm doing a number 3. Oh man, come on, bro. You about to use the bathroom right there in the open next to me? Well, what else do you want me to do? And then we gonna have sex afterwards. I'm sorry? Yeah, no, I'm gonna use the bathroom and get myself together. You put that Kool-Aid on your face and we gonna get it in afterwards. I'm sorry? So now you got a choice to make, because now, even if you was just doing 5 years, you facing life because you gotta go and kill a dude. Now you got a dilemma. Do you give up butt for the next 5 years, or do you face a possible life sentence for having to kill a dude for trying to take butt? Now you in a dilemma. I said, I beg your pardon. Now you got a dilemma. That's the worst type of dilemma that you can say. Oh shoot, man! And then there's no guarantee that you're gonna survive the fight. Like you might die trying to kill him because he's trying to kill you. What are you gonna do? How do you do that? How do you play that? Hey man, I'm about to use the bathroom right in front of you, and then I'm thinking about getting some tonight. You getting out? What do you mean? Getting what? So now you got a dilemma. That's a horrible situation to be in. Guard! Guard! What do you want? What do you want, Darren? Man, he said he trying to have sex with me. What am I supposed to do about that? Because I don't want to fight him. I don't want to have to kill him because then I'm going to get a bigger charge. Then y'all going to be saying disciplinary and I'm not going to be able to get my good time off. So what am I supposed to do? He said he want to have sex. I didn't know that y'all put me in here with a dude that like to have sex. Guard. I got a dilemma. What's going on? Well, Keith said he want to have sex. That Keith? Yeah, man. Why you ain't tell me that Keith was gay? Keith said he wasn't gay on the outside. Maybe he just gay on the inside. What do you mean? Hell no. Hell no. Man. I'm not about to deal with this, bro. Nigga, let's talk about this for real because I ain't got time for this, bro. That's the dilemma that you facing. And he light skinned. Y'all see him? Y'all seen Sean Gathright? Let me show y'all this nigga. Light skinned with good hair. Sean Gathright. Y'all see how pretty he is? Y'all say he the new tenderness. Oh, in prison, he an 8 out of 10. Oh, I can't, dog. This is crazy. Oh man. No, you had to strap. You was running up. No, we hunting this. Okay, well then now you had the ooh-wop shebang on them. Now you got a bang on them. That's crazy, dog. And in my personal opinion, I think that's crazy. But who am I? Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon, man. We got a live stream popping off tomorrow after hours. Long Way ENT says people in jail are worth more than people on the outside. 60K. Wow. Lyric the Gamer says, so where's Black Lives Matters movement for the black on black crime? Nowhere, because of selective outrage. I agree. Josh, what up, Josh? Josh says, does being a street N-word count as being a rat? Nixon 4. I think it's just all bad. All bad. Would you get Ross's new book? I think I had got the old book. Did I get Ross's old book? No, that wasn't Ross. I thought that was Ross. That was Gucci Mane. I got Gucci Mane's book. I actually had liked this book. This book was pretty dope. So I read this one, but the one that I'm actually carrying in my backpack to read, always get this one. It's a thick book, but it's worth the read. This is always going to be a classic. Intelligent Investor is always going to be a classic. Make sure that you get Intelligent Investor. At the time that I bought this, I think this was like $23. You know, the pages is going to get a little worn and all of that stuff because you be reading it or whatever. I started back rereading it again. Got my little earmark. So that's what I'm reading again is Intelligent Investor. Nah, probably not. I don't see no reason for it. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says, what's the top speed you got on your bike before? On the new one, on this one? I don't know, not much, maybe 80, 85 tops. I haven't pushed this one. I don't even have 1,000 miles on my bike. You saw Jalen Brown says F Stephen A. Yeah, I heard about that. If y'all want me to cover it, I can cover it. We picked the wrong martyrs. That's a fact, says Necrophiliac. That's a crazy name. Chris Cunningham says they're making an example out of y'all YNs today. Bro about to be Claude and Ray telling them about the gun line boss. Don't gun line boss. Shout out to Chris Cunningham. Charles Watson says salute AD and the bag chasers. Dang, where's she at? That new Drake slap. Agreed. I've been playing it all weekend. Let me see. Can I see my play, what I've been playing all weekend? Oh, it says recent play. Maybe I could say recent play. Oh, the list right here. I don't think I could share that though. Let me see if I can share it. Image file, no. Video file, no. Stop screen, share screen, window, music, Apple Music, right? Yeah, all of my songs that I've been playing is over here. Amazing Shape, Road Trips, Firm Friends, Make Them Know, Make Them Remember, Plot Twist, Make Them Pay, Ran to Atlanta, Whisper My Name, Boss Man D-Lo, Sway Lee, Yay, Marty Supreme, Dame Dot, Minks of Miami, R. Kelly, Drake's Scorpion album, stuff like that. So actually, you know what? Let me go up further. A lot of 21 Savage, Marvin's Room, The Game, Tory Lanez, Eric Thomas, Dame Dot, Icewear Vezo, Nas, Snoop, the first Snoop, Payroll, Usher, The Game, Peasy, Luther Vandross, shout out to Luther, Party Next Door, Ye, Sade, Fabulous, Jim Jones, Nas, Chris Isaac, Rick Ross's Gold Roses featuring Drake, Tweet, BFB Pac-Man, Cascade, Young Thug, a little bit of Justin Timberlake, Drake's Views, Tory Lanez, The Dream. This is the care package from Drake. More Peasy, Nipsey Hussle, Pink Sweat. Shout out to Pink Sweats, that's my guy. Flume, Rick Ross and Pharrell, The Roots, Larry June, a little bit of Sierra. Ignore that part. I got a crush on you. Let me ignore that part. Let me ignore that part. We ain't gonna talk about that. Yes, I do play a little bit of Sierra every once in a while. Shh. 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 I don't want y'all calling me soft. Don't call me soft. Just expanding my business because of the wisdom on your Patreon. You're a blessing. Shout out to the people holding me down. Shout out to the bag chasers. People saying free him wouldn't take his place, says I'm that dude. Mr. Lot says, sing that song. Nah, sing it the right way. Latrell says they finna make him crop top his shirt. Oh, that's crazy. Guard, this is beyond me. Shout out to Eric Harris. Just a brown girl in America says, secret time, I was locked up once. I had to make friends with the big homie that everyone was scared of just to ensure a comfortable stay. It was then I decided that I wasn't going back. Talk to him, just a brown girl in America. This brown girl in America got some stories. Roscoe says, Buck gonna be whistling every time. Somebody says, share my Spotify. I don't use Spotify. I only use Apple Music. Long Way ENT says, Sean is going to be a butt taker. He has life. Well, he got to grow into that. First, you got to be a follower before you can be a giver. Wesley Turner says he's going to be in there singing like Prince on the mic. Oh, that's crazy. Not singing on the mic. Manny Plays PC says they didn't sell him to slavery. He put himself up for auction. Facts. You ever listen to Dame Lillard's music? No. The only basketball player's music that I might listen to is Shaq. Because I like You Can't Stop the Rain. I like the You Can't Stop the Rain song. That whole album was kind of sweet. So that's the only one that I rock with. We got to revisit China. China.
You said that this summit is a success. As you get ready to head back to Washington, what's the most significant, specific thing you walk away from here for the U.S.?
I think the most important thing is relationship. It's all about relationship. I have a very good relationship with President Xi and with China. And it sounds like something that doesn't mean anything, but it's everything. In deal making and problems we've solved, the two of us have solved a lot of problems that somebody else would have maybe done very badly with. We've solved a lot of problems over the years. We have a very good relationship. Trade has been very strong. We're getting a lot of soybeans for our farmers. We're doing a lot of, there's a lot of things happening for the farmers. He committed to 200 Boeings, big ones, 777s and 737s, and a lot of big ones, big, beautiful Boeing planes, 200, that's a lot. With a commitment that if they do a good job, and I told this to Boeing and General Electric, we're going to go to the General Electric engines, which are great. If they do a good job, we could go up to 750.
And that's obviously a lot of investment going back and forth. You know, some Democrats, even some Republicans, had some concerns about Chinese manufacturing on U.S. soil. Is that happening?
Well, if they don't want to pay tariffs, it could happen, just like it's happening with other countries and companies. We have now more money being invested in the United States than any country at any time in the history of the world, including China, which probably is second from about 10 years ago. We have $18 trillion in 11 months, not the 12th month hasn't come in yet, the numbers. We have $18 trillion. If China wants to come in and wants to avoid tariffs, if they build here, for the most part, they're going to be hiring American people. If they want to avoid tariffs, they're going to build in the United States.
Despite concerns about China operating inside the U.S.
Look, we have Japan is building massive, Toyota, Honda, all of them. I mean, they're building massive plants all over the country. So if China wants to build for their cars, now, I will tell you, I put 100% tariff on Chinese cars because I didn't want them coming into the country. If you take a look, only because they swamp you, they'll destroy your auto industry, and that's what's happening in Europe. And now they're saying we have to do a little bit like Donald Trump. Europe is being killed. They're being absolutely swamped by.
When I went over to Manchester, it was so weird, bro, because I seen Chinese cars, but then I was talking to some of the people because I had jumped into, not a Chinese car, but I had jumped into like a Mercedes or whatever, and he was taking me over to a venue. And I was asking him, because I seen Geely, I seen BYD, I seen all of these type of cars. And I was asking him, I said, what about these Chinese cars? And he was telling me that basically the local politicians and the government was regretting, or it seemed like they was regretting, allowing for Chinese manufacturers to be able to sell cars over in Manchester. I also seen them over in Brazil. I also see that, let me pull this up real quick. I also see that Canada is set to allow Chinese EVs to be sold inside of their country. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, bro.
Gas prices had just started spiking and interest in EVs was already going up. How's the EV market in Canada doing now?
Oh, it's growing significantly because both of the price of gas and the fact that the federal government decided to bring back the $5,000 rebate for the purchase of electric cars. So these two combined has made for a significant spike in EV sales in Quebec, but across the country as well.
So Canada created a quota system earlier this year that would allow up to 49,000 Chinese-built EVs into the country per year. Which manufacturers are planning to enter the Canadian market at this time?
Well, the ones we're pretty confident that are going to make some cars is BYD and Geely so far, but we know that other manufacturers like Zeekr, Dongfeng, and some others are interested in bringing cars from China. But keep in mind that when we're talking about Chinese-made EVs, they do not necessarily come from Chinese car manufacturers. For example, Tesla has announced that they were bringing in the Tesla Model 3 from China at below $40,000, and we are expecting other car manufacturers like Ford, Volvo, Polestar, GM. They would bring Chinese-assembled cars from China to Canada. So
it's all bad. It's all bad. I don't care if you're an American manufacturer. I don't care if you're a European manufacturer. I don't care if you're a Korean manufacturer. If you are bringing in cars that are made in China, I won't buy a Buick. I think that Buick's SUVs look great. They look incredible. I love what the new design language is for Buick. I will not buy a Buick because Buicks are made largely in China. They're made in other countries. Now, I'm not against buying cars that are made and manufactured in other countries, but if I decide that I want an American vehicle, I'm going to get an American vehicle that is made in the United States of America. I like all of them. I like Porsches. I like the Lamborghini, but I also have Challengers. I have a a TRX, right? So if I'm going to say, hey, I bought an American vehicle, then, and I also got the Cybertruck, I'm going to buy a car that is made in America from an American manufacturer. I'm always going to have at least one of each. I'm always going to have at least a Chevy, a Ford, a Tesla, maybe I'm going to have three. So I'll pick three. I'm always going to have a Tesla for sure. And so I always plan on having a Ford. That's why I bought the Navigator. But if I'm going to buy it, then I'm going to buy one that is assembled and made here in the United States of America. It's just my thing. It's just my thing. I'm always going to have a Ford or a Lincoln. I like Lincoln. I'm always probably going to have a Tesla. I think that they're engineering marvels. Chrysler got to do better. Y'all know I'm at Stellantis, but Chrysler got to do better.
So it's not just going to be Chinese car manufacturers, but it's going to be Chinese-built cars from U.S. or Japanese manufacturers as well.
Right. So I guess for Tesla and many of these other manufacturers, they're really trying to get ahead of the Chinese manufacturers as well. So they have the more affordability, I'm imagining.
Yeah. So that's a great question, because people assume that if it's a Chinese car, it will necessarily mean that the vehicle is going to be very affordable.
Canada's dead, in my opinion. Canada is completely dead anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
Hundreds of thousands, millions of Chinese cars, and Mercedes and BMW and Volkswagen, they're getting killed. So
I like all of the cars. I see somebody said that they like Toyota. I had a Lexus before. I think that my next car is probably my next Japanese made vehicle will be a GTR. It's gonna be Godzilla. It's not gonna be it's not gonna be just a regular car. It's got to be something that I really want.
if you notice, we haven't had that problem. You know why? Because I have 100% tariff on cars made in China.
And even though the Supreme Court ruling, you're going to still continue that tariff.
The ruling was just on a specific type of tariffs.
And you're going a different route.
Correct. I have the right to do the same tariff in, frankly, a little bit more complex way, but it's actually a better tariff. It's a more stringent tariff.
I want to ask you about Iran and AI, but China made clear that Taiwan is very important to them. And after your first meeting here, President Xi's spokesman put out a statement to the media, through the media, saying this: the Taiwan question is the most important issue in China-U.S. relations. If it is handled properly, the bilateral relationship will enjoy overall stability. Otherwise, the two countries will have clashes and even conflicts, putting the entire relationship in great jeopardy. You were still inside the meeting when that came out. That sounded almost like a threat. Was it communicated that way behind closed doors?
No, it wasn't, not at all. But it has always been their most important issue. And it's not a takeover. They just don't want to see this place, we'll call it a place because nobody knows how to define it, but they don't want to see it go independent. They don't want to do it. And
somebody says Toyotas last long. This is the common misconception amongst car buyers, all right? The biggest misconception is that Toyotas are better than Fords and Chryslers and General Motors products. I would tell you that I don't believe that to be true. I've never believed that Toyotas or Hondas were better than any American manufacturer, and I'll tell you why. I've had an opportunity to be able to tour Toyota facilities and stuff like that. What I've learned in my lifetime as a person that has owned a lot of different cars, is this: your car will last as long as you take care of it. It has nothing to do with how great a Toyota is or any of that. It has everything to do with the person driving it and if they actually maintain the vehicle. Bro, if you get your oil changed regularly, if you get your filters changed, whatever it is that you need to take care of, get your tires rotated, you take care of your stuff, it's going to last you for a long time. It has nothing to do. That argument is genuinely for people that just want to get in and drive and don't want to think about what anything else that goes into it. If you take care of your stuff, it doesn't matter who the manufacturer is. If you take care of your stuff, it will last. It ain't the cars, it's the people driving them. It's not the cars. Now, I'm not going to say occasionally that you don't get a lemon here and there, but it's not the cars, it's the people that maintain them. I've never, ever in my life, ever had a problem with any car that I've ever purchased because I just took care of it. Get the oil changed when it's supposed to get changed. You put in you don't put the cheap oil in there. Put the synthetic in there, the synthetic blend and all of that stuff. And you just take care of your car. You take care of your bike. You take care of your car to take care of you. But a lot of people like to dog their stuff out and try to make it seem like, oh, man, something wrong with the car. No, you riding on bald tires. So I don't think it has anything to do with that. I've never had a problem with any of my cars ever. But if you dog it out and you don't change the oil and you just let it be trash the whole time, then it's going to run like that.
I think they probably would do something pretty harsh, and then they would be met harshly, and bad things will happen. So, no, it's not that. We talked, by the way, last night we talked the whole night about that issue. I think I know more about Taiwan right now than I know about almost any country.
You think it dominated the talk?
It's always been his most important.
Somebody said, aren't Escalades having engine problems at low miles? I have no idea. I don't own an Escalade. I own I bought the black label, the Navigator black label. I didn't buy the Escalade. So I like the black label better.
From the day I knew him years ago, I've known him now 11 years, 12 years. It's always been the biggest thing for him, Taiwan.
Yep, I got
now,
you, Niam. I'm going to read that super chat.
With me, I don't think they'll do anything when I'm here. When I'm not here, I think they might, to be honest with you. But I'm not sure that they do anything if it remained as is. But they have somebody there now that wants to go independent. Well, it's a risky thing when you go.
Somebody said I've a 2007 Honda Accord, 207,000 miles runs. I drove a North Star Cadillac STS for 350,000 miles before it ever gave out. And I bought it used. I bought it at an auction. That's how I would move, because I had lost my job and all my cars had got repossessed. I went and bought a Cadillac STS with the North Star engine in it, and I made sure that I took care of it, and it lasted for 350,000 miles, and then I sold it. So, like I said, the cars is gonna treat you how you treat it. One car that I wouldn't buy, I don't remember what year that was. It had to be like a 03, 04 or something like that. One car that I wouldn't buy, that I wouldn't buy used, I wouldn't buy a Challenger, and I wouldn't buy a Charger. I wouldn't buy a Durango Hellcat. I wouldn't buy any Scat Pat, any Hellcats. I wouldn't buy any of them used at all. I got a Jailbreak. I wouldn't buy any of those cars used because people dog them. They lay on the gas on them cars. They dog the hell out of them cars, bro. They do not have any kind of reservation whatsoever. They don't take care of them and treat the cars well. I'd like to drive my cars, but at the same time, I'm still going to take care of my car. They dog those cars out bad, bro. Any sports car, they're going to beat it up.
Independent, they're going independent because they want to get into a war, and they figure they have the United States behind them. I'd like to see it stay the way it is. And I'll tell you something, I'll make a little news. I'd like to see everybody making chips over in Taiwan come into America, because to be honest with you, I think it's the greatest thing you can do, because it's a heated situation. There's no question about it. And as you know, we have massive amounts of chip companies now from Taiwan already coming in. We expect to have 40 to 50% of the world chip business by the end of my term.
Let me give Biden a little bit of love and a little bit of credit on this. All right. Biden, this was the one thing that I think that he did do, even though Trump has secured a lot more commitments. Biden is the one that put together the CHIPS Act. Now, I know that that's going to probably hurt some people's hearts, because they don't want me to be objective about politics, and I'm not supposed to give Biden any credit whatsoever. But Biden was the one that secured the CHIPS Act. All right. So let me break down exactly what happened and how that happened. All right. It was enacted in August of 2022. Let me share my screen so y'all won't think that I'm capping. All right. August 2022. It was a $280 billion law called the CHIPS Act that went into place. And it was designed to boost domestic, meaning that we wanted to bring manufacturing, because whether it was Trump or whether it was Biden or whether it was anybody, Taiwan has always been a target of China. And so we've known this, all right? What Biden did was he installed the CHIPS Act. Now, some of this I don't agree with. I'm not going to get into it because I've covered it in 2022 when he put it in place. But The whole goal was to have development, manufacturing, and incentivize chip suppliers to start building technological advances. And I'm going to tell you why this came into place. The reason why Biden put this into place in the first place was because of the pandemic. It was reactionary because of what happened during the pandemic. I don't know if y'all remember, but during the pandemic, we had a chip shortage. And they were actually shipping cars and manufacturing cars, and it was still missing chips. And so they said that, well, buy a car now, and we're going to put in the minimum features, and then certain features we're going to roll out later, but it's going to require additional chips. So whether you was Tesla, whether you was Ford, Chrysler, any of the Korean automakers or whatever, they were shipping cars without the amount of chips that they needed because we needed to spin up chip manufacturing, which also fed into our national security because China has always had their eye on Taiwan. And then when you combine in the fact that they were making a part of national security, the funding in order for Taiwan to be able to stave off China in addition to Ukraine, that's the reason why it was a national security concern, because we didn't have any manufacturing. What people don't understand about logistics and materials and why we had to save the steel industry in the United States. Let's say hypothetically we go to war. And when I say war, I mean war, like World War II, World War I, war, right? Not Iran, because there's no American soldiers that are really, dying in mass or like how it is over in Ukraine, right? One of the things that you have to take into consideration is that we can't outsource in the state of war. You can't outsource manufacturing. If you need to make bombs, if you need to make drones, if you need to make chips, if you need to put together steel for whatever it is that you're putting together, you have to have the manufacturing capacity. What people don't understand about the history of this country is that our factories that make cars, and this is the reason why the auto manufacturing business blew up, is that our factories were made not to just make cars, but to also be able to serve the American government in the event that we ever found ourselves in a warlike capacity. They needed to be able to have the capacity, the size, the logistical ability to make tanks, to make bombs. We needed to be able to easily reconfigure our factories here, our steel manufacturing, to be able to serve the American government in the event that there was a war happening to where we had to en masse start to enlist and fight and all of this stuff. And so what people don't understand about, and this is why y'all got to learn y'all history. History is more than just what you see on the internet from Cheyenne Bryant. History is understanding why we need to make sure that we have domestic manufacturing capability, why we need to be able to service our own oil, why we need to be controlling everything that's happening in the Western Hemisphere, including Venezuela, why you have to make sure that we're not dependent on China or Taiwan that could be easily taken over, and why we are also fighting proxy wars. It's a reason for that. It is more than just, oh man, on the surface, why don't we just put more money and outsource everything from China? You can't, because you put yourself at a national security risk. And so what Biden did as a result of the pandemic back in 2022 was they realized that, oh man, we use chips and rare earth minerals for everything. And so he put together the CHIPS Act, which obviously went into effect in 2022. I remember it was a lot of wrangling that was going on in Congress to put together this act, but it was supposed to not only provide chips and incentivize chip manufacturers to come into the United States of America, but it was supposed to also give us infrastructure. $39 billion, 52.7 specifically for the CHIPS Act, included $39 billion for subsidies, direct subsidies for building and expanding semiconductor chip manufacturing facilities on U.S. soil, alongside 25% investment tax credits for manufacturing equipment. It also includes $13 billion designated for workforce training and semiconductor research. Now, here's the thing that we really need to ask ourselves, right? What we need to do is we need to put together an audit because we know who put together some of these laws. It's easily traceable as long as we're not easily distracted by what's going on in society, right? This is what we really need to do. We need to have an auditing process for every bill that is put together. There needs to be an auditing process to double check and triple check that we spent the money according to how we passed the law. And that's what we really having a problem with, is because once you pass the bill and you give the contracts and you give the incentives and all of that, there is no ever any time that people go back and they say, okay, well, did we actually implement it according to how we how we passed the law and how we funded this bill? We never go back and check. We never go through an auditing process and say, are we doing things the right way, or are we just throwing money at the wall and nobody is accountable for it, and who got rich as a result of this? We never go back and do an audit of what we pass inside of our Congress. And this is why I say that Congress is trash. I say Congress is trash because I know that Congress is more concerned with making sure that they get funding for the things that's meaningful to them than really overseeing the controlling of the purse strings of America. Overseeing the controlling of the purse strings in America is not just saying, okay, well, we're going to pass bills for this, or we're going to fund the government, or we're going to open up the government. It's also being mindful of, did we spend the right way? Who's accountable for it? Is somebody committing fraud? That's why I say that Congress should have a 2-year term, because they're not working for the interests of the people. They're working for the interests of themselves. If you are controlling the purse strings of America, which is their job, then they need to be doing an auditing process regularly. So I will give Biden credit for that, because I'm no hater, and I have to call a spade a spade. I will give Biden credit for that. I am going to give Biden credit for the CHIPS Act. Trump came in and secured more of an investment, but it was specifically capitalizing off of the fact that the CHIPS Act was put in place in 2022 to incentivize them to actually build chips inside of America. That was Biden that put together that legislation, or it happened under his presidency. That is one thing that he did do. Now, he did mess up a lot on the implementation of it. I remember there was supposed to be a specific amount of money that was put together for infrastructure, meaning that we were supposed to have EV infrastructure that was outside of Tesla. They couldn't implement that the way that it was supposed to. So, but that's just some of it. And it was specifically to strengthen supply chains, reduce reliance on foreign chip suppliers, and to counter China's technological dominance and their interest in Taiwan.
And I think it should be even more than that. I think all of those chip companies, if they're smart, they're going to start heading to Arizona and the places where they're building. That's going to solve your problem.
Should the people of Taiwan feel more or less secure after your meetings with President Xi?
Neutral. This
has the policy changed at all?
No, nothing's changed.
U.S. policy?
No, nothing's changed. I will say this. I'm not looking to have somebody go independent and, we're supposed to travel 9,500 miles to fight a war. I'm not looking for that. I want them to cool down. I want China to cool down.
But you're waiting on approving billions of dollars of weapons for Taiwan.
That's right.
Is that moving forward?
Well, I haven't approved it yet. We're going to see what happens.
What are you looking for?
I may do it. I may not do it.
Yeah. What's
Hey, listen, Brett. He can't tell you what his strategy is, because if he did, he would lose leverage over being able to negotiate with China on the things that's meaningful to the United States of America. He can't tell you. Now, it's Brett's job to ask the questions, but Trump can't tell you whether or not he would, because this is a carrot. This is something that they're dangling in front of the people's faces and saying, I might sell weapons over to Taiwan to allow for them to protect themselves against China, but that is a bargaining chip.
Hinge point.
Well, I'm not going to say that, but I may do it, I may not do it. But we're not looking to have wars, and if you kept it the way it is, I think China's going to be okay with that. But we're not looking to have somebody say, let's go independent because the United States is backing us. You know.
So President Xi probably liked that you haven't approved the weapons to Taiwan.
I would say like is maybe too strong a word because he thinks I could do it with just the signing of my signature, unlike Biden who couldn't sign his signature.
This is how I like my presidents. I like my presidents petty. Even when he's talking about world leaders and stuff like that, I like my presidents petty. I like my president to be able to say, well, you know, unlike Biden, because Biden wasn't really signing anything. That's why we call him Autopen Biden. But neither here nor there.
No, I'm holding that in abeyance, and it depends on China. It depends. It's a very good negotiating chip for us, frankly. It's a lot of weapons. It's $12 billion. It's a lot of weapons. But, you know, when you look at the odds, China's a very, very powerful, big country. That's a very small island. It's, you think of it, it's 59 miles away, 59 miles. We're 9,500 miles away. That's a little bit of a difficult problem. With all of that being said, you know, if you look at the history of Taiwan, Taiwan was developed because we had presidents that didn't know what the hell they were doing. Because if they would have put tariffs on chips coming in, they would have never left. Everything was about Intel, and everything was about our chip companies. They stole our chip industry. So I've said that for years. I said, you know, for years they stole our chip. If we would have had one of our presidents just say, we're going to put 100% chip. You can leave, you can build in Taiwan, but you sell it back into the United States. We're going to put 100% or a 200% tariff. We would have never lost a chip. We lost the chip industry. It's all coming back. And I do say this, Taiwan would be very smart to cool it a little bit. China would be very smart to cool it a little bit. They ought to both cool it.
On AI, was there any agreement about any kind of guardrails that China and the U.S. might agree to?
The thing about our history, because most people can't see past their nose. So most people are focusing on what their current situation is and not how we got here. But how we got here is ultimately how you solve for a problem, because you have to understand the history, right? That's why history is important. History is not important just so you remember. History is important so that you learn. That's what Black people don't understand. That's what Black culture don't understand. History is not there so that you can be reminded of racism so you can try to figure out how to hate white people. History is there so that you can learn from the past and make adjustments to be more successful in the future. What people don't understand is that all of our presidents, all of our politicians that can no longer be held accountable because we're in a reactionary environment, we're not in a proactive environment, is that all of our politicians before us sold us out. They sold off our manufacturing. They showed up. We were the foremost innovative country when it came to innovating processes to do anything, whether you're talking about manufacturing of cars, assembly lines, chip manufacturing, technological advances, the computer, everything. And what our politicians allowed for businesses to do was they sold out to other countries that then copied our technology and did it for cheaper because they didn't have the developed workforce to do so. And so they needed our investment in order for them to no longer be third world countries. And this is where we at today. This is where we at today. They all sold, presidents before us in the technological era and the burgeon, man, they sold us out. They sold us out. They gave away everything to everybody, and they mortgaged our future and sold us out for pennies. And we praised them for it. We praised them for it. And we never actually got cheaper products. That's the thing. If you weren't invested in the company's stock, you never benefited from it. You never benefited from it. We never benefited from them selling us out. All we did was advance other countries' interests. And if you were not benefiting on the bottom line of the companies that was manufacturing in other places, then it didn't even matter. We really just need to redo the 60s through the 90s, all the way up into 2000. We need to redo. We need a 40-year redo and to do it all over again. Real talk. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Nicholas says, did you see Adrien Broner getting kicked out of Mike Epps' show? I don't review Adrien Broner anymore because I think it's sad, and I made my offer. I think he's being used as a piñata, and it's unfortunate because his embarrassment is somebody else's profitability. I think it's cold-hearted to take advantage of him like that, knowing that he's a drunk, knowing that he's got substance abuse problems, knowing that, he's in that space. And so I offered, and my offer is still on the table, to put him through to pay for rehabilitation programs, pay for rehab. And so that's where I stand on that. I'm not about to take advantage of that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? That's messed up. I don't want to see him fall like that. When I punch on you, I want you to be able to punch back. You know what I'm saying? Like, he not even in his right mind right now. And it's like everybody is laughing at him, and he think they laughing with him, and he think they his friends, and they not. It's messed up. It's messed up, bro. So, I think that it's interesting to review situations, but if you all the way down to that level, I'm not going to kick you. I'm not going to kick you. Like, I think that Adrien Broner was more interesting to react to when he had money and he was talking big stuff. And it was like, man, you being dumb. Stop being stupid. But when you go all the way broke and you become addicted to substance abuse, I don't think that's when you start to kick somebody. I think people need to be reaching out to him and helping them out. So I made my offer. I'm willing to pay for him to go to rehab. But other than that, as long as he got people that can exploit it and make it seem like he making money or he getting relevancy, then it's just going to be bad. And it's going to continue to spiral downwards. So I made my offer. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Shout out to Jay Dreamer says, do you have Dame Dollar in your playlist? I don't. I don't listen to rappers. I don't listen to ball players that rap. Although it was one that was hitting. Hold on. It was one that was hitting. Let me see something. He was on. I was like, what? Which one was it? What was his name? I was impressed. Miles Bridges? Was it Miles Bridges? Let me pull it up. Hold on. I said, is he a rapper or is he a ball player?
Radio freestyles.
RTB, nigga. Gang. Yeah. I was young as hell, sneaking bitches in my mom's house. Now I'm with 28 hoes, smoking pound house. Kills got cases pinning, pray my nigga bond out. Got some new work in and kick, that's a roundhouse. Blew up my phone, I fucked her friend and she found out. We gon' keep fucking up that skull, you need a timeout. I know you want your bitch back, but she mine now. She did that one dance on the dick, now her spine out. All my shooters accurate, don't leave us open. This shit we smoking Supreme, ain't talking about the clothing. You ain't making paper, you meaty man, the Rosen. I just wanna hit your litty friend till it's swollen. I got a switch, I ain't trying to get no spanking. We caught the main out, now I think them niggas tanking. We in public, can't kill them, we gon' stump them. Kirk Franklin, she pouring her famous. I just asked her what's her ranking. Getting paper from these rocks, I can make some hoes scissor. Tell me she don't like her titties, I can make them hoes bigger. Smoking.
Yeah, I see you, Miles. Hey, Miles, I see you talking that talk, big dog. Miles said, listen, I'm going straight to the studio. I like what I see from you, Miles. I like that. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it, Miles. Keep doing your thing, big dog. Yeah, man, I like Miles. I like Miles a lot. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says Joe Budden Podcast is smart. He threw the Drake album reaction on Patreon for $10. Yeah, that is smart. AD, didn't you do a video last year showing how Russia was having all of these dudes with Chinese cars, all of these issues? Yep. They hated Chinese cars. And they broke down easily with no support. I did. I'm surprised you remember that. Neum says, AD, the tech content bros get all the love in the Patreon. Can you shed some more insight from your restaurant days? Sure. You know what I had started doing before the pandemic, or was it during the pandemic? It was around the time. I was actually going through the process of opening up a place, and I was giving people insight on what it takes in order to do so. Maybe I'll revive that series. Because we had got beat out on an offer that we had made on a property in Tampa in order to open up a shop over in Tampa. So I might do that. Yeah, I'll do that. Let me write that down. Say I can. My mouse say I could just type it. I got you. Patreon. Yeah, I got you. Shout out to Neum. Tyler says, from the way you got pissed last week with that fire alarm, I saw how passionate you take your content creation. It inspired me even more to grind. My attitude was pretty bad that day. Cause it was like, what we doing? I was pissed. Box of Oranges says a lot of historical illiterates in this country, they only know slavery, World War II, civil rights movement, and the Trump presidency. Real Life PJ says, AD, look up Dame Dollar. I know, I heard Dame Dollar stuff before, honestly. I think he got, he's skilled. He got skills. He dope. He good at what he do. It's just not my type of music. Listen, I have to be in the mood for certain things. Sometimes I like rapidy rap. Sometimes I like just a dude talking his talk and just getting it off. Other times I like vibes to where it's like, hey, man, I'm just saying we can do better. And then other times I like, I like chilling music. You know what I'm saying? I like getting into a trance type of stuff. So it just depends on what I'm looking for at that particular time. I'm not always looking for the rapidy rap, lyrical mirror. I don't want to hear all of that all the time. Sometimes I just want to enjoy life without having to think about what you said. I know all y'all listen to is, oh man, we got to hit that. Every bar got to be hitting. I'm good. Sometimes I want to Larry June it up. Sometimes I want to currency it up. Sometimes I just want to, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just want to hit a vibe. Yeah, sometimes you want to throw in that Pretty Ricky. Sometimes I like to throw on some H-Town. Somebody rocking, knocking the boots. Oh, yeah. Lay back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sometimes I just want to chill. I don't always want to be all of that. AD play intro by Miles Bridges. I'ma check it out. I got you. But here's the question that I want to ask myself, because I want to talk about the tale between two worlds. All right? Tale between two worlds. I want to have a conversation about what does success look like, in a sense. All right? And when I say what does success look like, I'm hearing two different things from two different people, and it feeds into exactly what I've been telling people over the last, I don't know how long, right? One of the things that I've been hearing is that everything is so messed up. All of the money is messed up. The economy is messed up. Ain't nobody got no money no more. And everybody broke. Everybody broke.
At what point does it become okay to say we need to kill these people because otherwise they're going to kill us? At what point does it become okay to say that? Because I'm getting real frustrated making $80,000 a year and at any given time having like fucking $30 to work with, dude.
So now we've gotten to the point in society to where you want to put yourself on the FBI's most wanted list because now you're threatening to kill people because you're not happy with making $80,000 a year and you don't feel like it goes far enough. This is where we are in society, guys. This is where we're at in society. The average household income baby girl, what's the average household income in the United States of America currently?
Based on data from the U.S. Census Bureau, the real median household income in the United States was estimated at around $83,730 for 2024. Remember, this figure represents the midpoint, meaning half of households earned more than that and half earned less. Are you looking for data specific to a certain region or perhaps broken down by demographics?
Break it down amongst traditional white people, Caucasian people in the United States of America. What's the average household income amongst my white constituents?
For non-Hispanic white households, the median income is typically higher than the national average. Based on the most recent census data, the median figure for this group is around $92,530. This means half of those households earn more than that and half earn less.
Okay, so when we say household income, this is not individual, but this is for everybody that is in that house in particular. Am I correct?
You are exactly right. Household income includes the total income of everyone living in a particular housing unit. It combines the earnings of all residents who are 15 years or older, regardless of whether they are related. This can include wages, salaries, investment income, and any other sources of income for the people in that house. It really provides a broader picture of the economic resources available to the household unit. Would you like to explore how this figure might change depending on household size or location?
No, but I would like for you to give me comparatively average black household income inside of the United States of America.
Looking at the comparative data, the median household income for Black families typically differs from that of white households. According to recent figures, the median income for Black households is around $56,020. This really highlights the ongoing disparity in income levels between different racial groups in the United States.
So it's 93 compared to around 53.
That's correct. Those figures highlight a significant disparity, with the median income for white households being notably higher than that for Black households. This gap reflects complex historical and systemic factors that continue to influence economic opportunities and outcomes across different communities.
Hey, baby girl, I didn't ask you to start giving me no lesson about economic racism and systematic oppression and all that. I don't want to run in the Victim Olympics. That's not what we do here. Just give me the information.
Understood. I apologize for elaborating beyond the data you requested. I will focus strictly on providing the factual income figures for the groups we discussed in the future.
All right, I'm going to talk to you later. I'm a little aggravated that you decided to input. I only want to know what I want to know. I don't need all of that extra. I just need you to be baby girl.
I completely understand, and I'll be sure to keep things direct and focused on just the information you're asking for. Let me know whenever you need anything else.
All right. I don't want to hear all of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no extras. Give me the information that I need so that I can give what I want to talk about. Now, going on, I have to punish baby girl. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't ask you for all of that. So now that we know what we know based off of recent data and statistics, okay? Now we have to have a deeper conversation, because when I see this white guy right here, and he says we need to kill them, in his words, he said we need to kill them because I am making $80,000 per year. That means that, remember, when I looked up the statistics and the data when it comes to household income, that is everybody that's in the household. Any and everybody in that household is considered household income. So let's say that I am making $60,000 a year, and then I got my baby girl and she making $33,000 a year. That means that we make $93,000 a year. When the U.S. government is evaluating if somebody can afford or not, when you fill out your FAFSA for your child, they go by your parents, your household income. What is your household making? And so that helps us to determine if you can pay for college or not. And historically, most people did not make $80,000 a year by themselves unless you was a person that was the primary provider and you had children and the kids was being taken care of by the mother, and it never made sense to send a kid to daycare. I don't care what y'all talking about. Daycare is the dumbest thing for middle class and poor people that I've ever seen in my entire life. Daycare, the reason why we can't get ahead is because we're making bad decisions regularly that continue to keep us behind the 8 ball. Your kids don't learn anything. They come out stupid and retarded half the time. They got these other liberal ideologies and views, and you're working to send them to daycare. That's all you're doing. So instead of you staying home and saving money, instead you want to raise the income. Let me show you how this works. You raise the income for the household. You raise the debt for you to go to school to go and do these jobs. And on top of that, you then raise the amount that you got to pay in taxes because you now have 2 incomes that meet past a certain threshold. And so you can't even take care of your kid. You're paying somebody else to pay for taxes to then turn your kids into raging liberals, and you mess up the whole infrastructure of how you're supposed to be operating. And you taking jobs away from people that actually need them. So daddy was usually in the plant. He was the postman. He was taking care of business. Mama then was following the children through school. She wound up becoming a teacher, a substitute teacher. And so they combined their income and they lived within their means and they took care of their kids, and everybody lived happily ever after, and everybody acted like it was hard to do. No, they bought the house that they was going to live in for the rest of their life. They lived there for 60 years. They was married for 55 of them. They raised all of their kids in there. They paid off their house. They retired. They had a 13% interest rate in the hood, but it was theirs though. And they paid off the house, right? Daddy always had a used car that was in the garage that never ever got fixed, but he said that it was going to be his project. And one day he was going to take it out to the Dream Cruise. It always was parted out. And he told mama, stay out of the garage, stay out of my space, because I know where everything is. And if you come in here and mess stuff up, you're going to mess up everything that we got going on here. He drove a used car to work every day. He never had a car note. And a lot of times they shared a car. They shared a car. Sometimes she would drop him off and pick him up from work, and then she would run around and run all of her little errands. Everybody didn't have a car in the house. They didn't have multiple different insurances. They didn't have all of this stuff. And everybody just was chill. You had 2-3 bedroom, little spot. Actually, the second bedroom was the basement, because when you got to a certain age, your freedom was, you know what, I'm going to move into the basement. You know what I'm saying? I made it. I need my own space away from the upstairs where my mom and my dad's room is. I'm going into the basement, and that's how, you know what I'm saying, I got my freedom now. I'm in high school now. I'm a senior. I'm in the basement, bro. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I got my own space. I got my own layout. I got a fish tank over there. I got privacy now. I got privacy now. I'm good. It was a different expectation. It was a different expectation. Real talk. So now you got white men that make $80,000 a year by himself saying that he wants to kill people in power because he don't feel like he make enough. By himself, 80,000.
I have a child that I need to feed and take care of and provide a future for. At what point do we get to say that we need to kill these people, man? Because that's what they're trying to do to us.
I like these type of white people, because then you can identify who the problem people are, and we need to have him interrogated and at the top of the FBI list ASAP. I need him arrested, evaluated, because you never know. We don't take threats lightly anymore on social media.
It's only fucking self-defense at that point, man. We are getting to a point.
And anytime white people say man at the end of their statement, they serious about it. They're looking for a group. They're looking for a battery in their back. They're looking for a posse. Hey, man. No, man, it's getting hard out here, man. It's those billionaires, man. They're on us. When did it become self-defense, man? Whenever they say man at the end of their statement, they serious about this. This is meaningful. They've been thinking about this for a long time. They've been getting their energy up to be able to say this publicly. And so they finally just going to go for it, and they're going to put it on social media. We're coming for us, man.
Point where anything that we decide to do is only self-defense. Fuck these people, man. They don't give a fuck about us, dude. They're going to let us die. And they're going to do it real slow, too. Fuck.
That's what I be had. That's what I'm wondering, boss mom. I'm wondering where is this white privilege at that we was all so focused on? I see so many poor white people today. I'm trying to figure out where the white privilege is. Honestly. I would like, excuse me, Susan, can I get an order of white privilege? It's my Teej. Always keep the Teej box. No. I want 2 orders of white privilege. Medium rare. I want 2 orders of white privilege, medium rare. I see more white people selling box nowadays than ever before. It's that's what the real money is. You know what I've noticed? White people, white women, and white men have resorted to selling box, bro. They packaging that box up, and they selling it at a discounted rate, and they selling it in bulk. White people are selling box in bulk. I'm telling you, bro. They selling it like they at Sam's Club. I've never seen so many people selling box in my life. I that's my real recession indicator. Yes, they are. Sam's Club style. They're not talking about it like y'all. Y'all used to talking about it. Y'all, we used to being verbal with our stuff. They doing it in shame. They selling box in shame. Shame packages. Because they don't want to tell you that they selling box, but it's going to the highest bidder. Don't think that I'm not lying to you, bro. I'm out here. I see it in real life.
These people, dude. Fuck these Epstein class people, dude. They'll be lucky if we don't fucking torture them, man. They'll be lucky. Because I'm getting to a point, man, where I can't do it anymore, and I'm on track to make $6,700 for the month, dude. How the fuck am I gonna average out at about $7K for the month, and I can't afford shit, motherfucker? I'm coming to my bank to yell at people right now. What the fuck is going on here?
How do you make $6,700, $7,000 in a month and you ain't got no money? I just refuse. I refuse to believe that this is anything other than a spending problem and that people are out of their minds. I don't get it. Somebody familiarize me. Somebody give me some insight. I would like to know. How do you take home $7,000 and don't have no money? And you look poor. How? I would like for somebody to give me some insight. Somebody give me the game. How? The only thing that I can think of is that either you got habits or you paying crazy amounts in financing and interest. And so you financed your way through it. And so now you got to pay for what you financed because you raised your lifestyle according to whatever it is that you wanted to do. And so now you got to pay for that. You got to pay for that. And now y'all want to get mad at the bank. So you going to run in and you going to yell at a bank teller that don't know nothing about your situation. And so they got to then atone or repent for your bad decisions.
You Epstein class motherfuckers. Bullets are about to fly.
I can't wait to do a separate review video for this because I know it's going to hit on the Anton Daniels channel.
It's coming. I'm about to start purchasing firearms, man. Not even kidding with you. This is un-American what's happening. It's time for the Americans to stand up and do our constitutional duty now. Fuck these people.
I have noticed a very strange behavior among the rich folk. I've been delivering since 2014, and I have never seen the rich folk prepping like they've been doing the last 2 months. They have buying, a lot of them have been buying dry foods, buying generators. A lot of them have been trying, getting dry foods, rice, beans, all this stuff I've been delivering. And when I delivered, they're like, oh, put in a garage. One of this other guy, he has his whole entire garage built out. And when I asked him why is he doing it, he's just like my gut feeling. So I don't know what they're being prepped for. Why are they buying so many of the emergencies? But they're.
Is there a memo that we miss somewhere? Is there a rich person memo? Is there a threshold memo that I'm not aware of? That rich people are supposed to be operating by and that everybody else is not supposed to have access to? Because I know that people believe that people that have money or resources or rich people are a monolith, but I'm just trying to understand, is there a memo that I'm not aware of that went out that skipped over me because maybe I didn't meet the threshold for what rich is supposed to be? I didn't get the email. I didn't get the email. I'm not in the crew. I don't know. You know what I found out? You know what I know? As a person that is now a Lamborghini Mercy, as a person that is a Lamborghini owner, you know what I found out? There's no shortage of rich people that are buying Lamborghinis or Ferraris. Anytime that they come off with a one-off, a 9 million, 8 million, 5 million, 3 million, we're only selling 25 of these, they already be sold out. They already be sold out. Conversely,
summer I made a video where I said that you should literally never share your income on the internet or even with like your friends and family, and I'm about to eat my words because I've been on this app a few months now and the conversation I'm seeing around money is so low. Like even in my own industry, what people consider a good salary and a high income is like the floor. And I share this not to be condescending, but because I think knowledge is power. With a basic degree and some tenacity, there are a lot of people making a lot of money. I think I'm going to do what I said I wasn't going to do and share like my path in tech sales and how I got there.
This might be a hot take, but not everyone is in debt. Not everyone is struggling right now. I think there is a financial literacy problem in the country. Like people don't know how to manage their expenses, and it shows. I work in the restaurant industry, and the fact that we are getting 100 DoorDash and Uber orders a night just shows me that you're fucking stupid with your money. Like,
he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Go into any restaurant. Like, I know that people don't like to pick up their food no more. Like, you don't like to call in or anything like that. But just try it. Like, even if you order it on DoorDash, do it pickup because you can switch. I know it's a lot of y'all may not be familiar with that feature. You don't do that. Go and do pickup on the restaurant, right? When you hit pickup, you don't get charged, obviously, the fees that come along with delivery and all of that stuff. And so when you go in, actually, I guess it still shows to them like maybe you're a DoorDash driver or whatever, even if you're picking it up for yourself. And so, yes, say DoorDash. And guess what? Usually a lot of the restaurants, they'll have a separate section to where they put the DoorDash bags at, or, where they put the DoorDash people to pick up people, right? The machine that gives them the alert that a new DoorDash is coming is even back in, 2018-19, when I had first opened up my restaurant, and DoorDash, Postmates, Uber Eats, Grubhub, all of that stuff was popping. We had got to the point to where people were doing more in DoorDash orders, and so we opened up a ghost kitchen on top of it, as well as a commissary, which obviously that benefited us significantly. This is what I'm going to teach y'all inside of the Patreon. We had got to the point to where we were generating more revenue and delivery orders than people actually having to come in and pick up their stuff in real life. And that was back in 18-19. That was before the pandemic. Why is somebody saying check my audio? Is my audio off? Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me fine. Is my audio wrong or something? Somebody said, check my audio. Is my audio wrong? Did my audio go off or something? Oh, so then that means this is somebody else's. That's on somebody else's end. All right, cool. But when you go into these restaurants, it's just binging. Bing, 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 bing. It's DoorDash. The fast food restaurants. The fast food restaurants have such a massive rotation of DoorDashers. It's insane. It's insane. Fast food restaurants. I went into Wendy's to get me a Frosty, and I seen so many girls coming in as DoorDash drivers to go and get other people's food. I've seen so many women coming in to pick up DoorDash orders. There are some places that get so much money in DoorDash, it's insane. It's actually insane. And so Eric D, for example, says it's a convenience. I don't like strawberry frosty. No, I get the original. I only get the chocolate frosties. We don't do no other regular. Man, what kind of nonsense is this? Don't know strawberry frosties. So Eric, for example, says convenience, right? When you broke, you're not supposed to move in convenience. So either I'm off on the fact that everybody is really broke, or people are just lazy and they don't care, and so they're going to spend it regardless of whether they got it or not. Convenience is not convenient when you broke. You make the sacrifice. You go to the grocery store. You go and pick up your food. You cook. You do all of the things that take a little bit more time in order to save money, because that is what convenience is a rich person's game. Oh, y'all didn't want me to say that? All right. I'll come back to that. Don't worry about it. We'll get there.
Like, why are you spending money on DoorDash when you can go pick up the food and save a shit ton of money? Like, I would rather spend, instead of laying in my house being lazy as fuck, I would rather spend that money on a vacation. And if you think that, oh, it's just a DoorDash order, let's just say you spend $40 a week on DoorDash. $40 a week, that's $160 a month. That's almost $1,600 a year. That's a nice weekend vacation. That's a nice Friday, Saturday, Sunday vacation. I would rather be spending my money on memories than fucking food delivery service. Like, people are just fucking stupid with their money. I think, like, if you have kids, I'm sure you are struggling. I cannot imagine. But, like, my parents do not help me out financially. I live by myself. I'm just in the restaurant industry. I live in a city where the rent is extremely expensive, and I'm still doing fine. I think people are just dumb with spending their money. Like, they spend their money on stupid ass shit. I'm like, no wonder why you're fucking broke. Not everyone is broke in this economy, but I will have to admit, I've had to penny pinch, but people are just fucking dumb with their money.
I know this may bother some people, but everybody is not broke in this economy. There are some people that just manage what they have. If they don't have it, they don't go do it. They eat at home every single day. All of their cars are paid for. They do all of the maintenance on their own vehicles and on their own home. They live in regular middle-class neighborhoods, and they're not struggling. If they got to put gas in their cars, they put gas in their cars and they go.
He's right. I know for a lot of people, they want everybody else to be able to relate to them, but it's some people out here, they managing effectively. They're not living outside of their means, and they doing just fine. And you know what else they doing? Being quiet, because then y'all going to be like, oh my God, you're not being relatable. Everybody is struggling. You know, when you struggle, you get the porn vibes. Everybody is not a millionaire, but everybody also ain't struggling. There's some people that's thriving. I ain't even gonna cap. It's some people thriving. You said you ain't even gonna cap. Most of your money go to food. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Everybody not struggling. I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth, bro. There is a segment of people that's out here that's getting to it. They running it up. That's the voice, Desiree Smith, when people, when they either in the Victim Olympics or they pour. I want you to feel sorry for them. Oh my God, I got to get. Everybody not struggling. Everybody not trying to figure it out. Everybody not poor. Everybody not crushed under debt. Everybody that ain't got student loans. Everybody ain't struggling to try to figure out whether they're going to pay their car note. Everybody not checking the gas prices. Everybody not checking the gas prices. I'm telling you, for real, for real. Some people. Some people just kicking it. What up, baby girl? What up, Montina? Some people just chilling. Guess what part of the plane is more full than any other part of the plane? First class and Delta One. There's no shortage of seats on Delta One and first class. All of those is full. And then if you got to go use a different bathroom because the one in the front of the plane is taken care of, so you walk past, you got to go back to use the bathroom, and you open up the little curtain. Because see, even the flight attendants will tell you, but oh no, Mr. Daniels, it's for you up there. Guess what? Some people are used to hot towels in first class. Did you know that that's what they do? They come by with a flaming hot towel for you to wipe your hands. Here you go. And they have the tongs. It's like the Chinese, and they get their hot towel. And it's nice and rolled up. Hi, would you like a hot towel to wipe your hands? And they give it to you. You say, oh, yes, absolutely. Would you like a Grey Poupon? Yeah, they get the steam hot towel, and then you do like this. Woo. Thank you for waking me up, for giving me a hot towel to prepare me for my meal. Is it okay if I pull out your tray table so that we can prepare you for your meal today? Yeah. So I see you've pre-selected your meal, Mr. Daniels. Then they give you the white tablecloth. They put it on your tray table, right? I see you've selected the braised whatever, tortellini, whatever it is. Yes. And they bring you dessert. They bring you a salad to get you started off with the balsamic vinaigrette. And then they bring you your main meal, and it's piping. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want you to touch it. I got you. And then you try to seem relatable to the people. And then you try to make yourself seem relatable. So you just try not to look up when you get on the plane first, right? Because you know they let you on the plane. Zone 1 boarding, after they do all of the military members and people that are incapacitated or whatever. If you need extra time to get down the jet bridge, now is your time to board. Also calling all military members. And then that's when they do first class after that. And they say, first class, zone 1 boarding right now. I'm sorry, sir. If you're not zone 1, can you please stand to the side? If you're not zone 1, can you please move over so we can let the people that pay extra money to board first get on get on the plane? I'm sorry, sir. Are you zone 1? Are you diamond medallion? Okay, can you step to the side? We'll be right with you. We're going to be calling you shortly. Zone 1. Then you run up. You got extra bags. Oh, man. I didn't know. Oh, shoot. I didn't know if I was going to be late. Oh, man. Oh, no. We're going to hold the plane for you, Mr. Daniels. Oh, you have extra. Okay, so you got a couple carry-ons. No worries. Do you want me to check that for you, or you want to just carry it on? Oh, no, I want to look at my new Louis. Oh, by the way, your car sent me these. Shout out to my dog. Shout out to the Chasers. Your car said, I need you to have a new Louis. Because I got it, I keep a pair of these always. Your car said I'm going to send it to you. Shout out to the Chasers. Shout out to the bag chasers, making sure that Anton stay fresh. And then you sit out in the plane. Oh, man. Whew. Do you know that valet at the airport was taking too long? I wasn't sure I was going to make my gate. And so you sit there and you're prepping for your flight and they give you a cover and you say, oh, I need to do some business. And you're writing on your iPad and stuff. And you try not to look at the general population because they're going to be walking by like they in the chain gang. And they got their drinks and stuff. You sitting up there, and the white people coming in, and they got all of their drinks and their food. Hi, no. Can you make sure that he get his lunch for the day? You make sure you get his lunch and make sure you get his water. Get the water for him. And they walk past you and they say, hi. Give them that awkward hi. Hi. Keep on doing what you was doing. Because they don't get meal service. So they bringing in their meals that they ordered. And I'm like, and then they come by you and they say, hey, Mr. Daniels, would you like a drink before we get the plane off the ground? You know what? Yeah, give me a little bit of Wolf of Reserve. Hold the ice, please. And can you keep it quiet a little bit with these people that's passing right here? I'm on a business meeting. And then they try to convince you that you're out of touch. Well, we're all going to land at the same place, but your back going to be hurting and not mine. That's the difference. But you say that in the inside, you don't say it on the outside. So on the inside, you say, no, we are absolutely all going to the same place. You try to downplay your diamond medallion status, but the lady going to tell you as soon as you scan your thing, yeah, we all going to, this is so dumb. You know, I'm only doing this because my daughter, she needs to rest up for her taekwondo competition. So it's always 3 times the amount. It's so dumb. But, I saved up for this. I've been saving all year for this. And then his flight attendant said, Mr. Daniels, thank you for your diamond medallion status. We are so thankful to have you on this plane today. You are in the air regularly. And without you, there will be no us. And see, I feel like I deserve it. I deserve this not just because I work for it, but because we had to sit in the back of the bus. You should let me get that front seat real quick. Let me hold on to that seat. I'd rather be at the back of the bus than the front of the plane. You know what I'm saying? Back of the bus, front of the plane. Back of the bus, front of the... No, I'm just messing with you. Don't worry about it. Don't get in your feelings about it. Listen, for every white person, and this is how you know that there is no real white privilege, okay? For every white person that sits and complains on the internet and says, I can't believe it, we're all in the same boat, you are justification how race is being used to pit us against each other instead of looking at the economic instability, the opportunities that come along with it, aligning with people based off of character and getting these jokes off. Have a good time. Guess what? I used to be sitting right there in the back of the plane with you. I would do it today again if I have to. But everybody not struggling. There's a group of people out here that's getting to it.
I am a recovering alcoholic, which means I used to drink a lot. And by a lot, I mean I would go through about a fifth of Jack or Jim Beam in about every day and a half, 2 days. So I have saved a tremendous amount of money just from stopping drinking. So, I mean, I can buy property with the amount of money that I have saved from me stopping.
Most of us have a habit that's preventing us from being able to spend money on the things that's going to add value into our life.
But everybody struggling just from stopping drinking. So, I mean, I can buy property with the amount of money that I have saved from me stop drinking. Now, if I still had that alcohol habit in this economy, it could be pretty bad. These things right here, depending on where you buy them from, be $4. You want to get one of these every single day, how much does that cost?
Facts.
More than one of these a day. How much does that cost? Red Bulls.
Facts.
All the energy drinks. Cigarettes. Why are you buying it new? I go to pawn shops and I go to places and get broke stuff and fix it all the time. Almost everything in here used to break. Now it's fixed. Go to yard sales. Go to garage sales.
Not everyone is struggling, babes. I know people love to say, in this economy, every time they see someone dressing well, traveling, going to a nice restaurant, or just enjoying the nice things in life. But yes, in this economy, because if I don't live now, then when? Plus, life is not meant to be paused until the world becomes perfect. So yes, some people decided to work, create opportunities, and live a nice life at the same time. So do not let that phrase make you feel guilty for living well. Enjoy your life.
You guys have to remember there are people who are not fazed by this economy. There are people who still see the gas prices and will stay with a full tank of gas. There are people who still will get groceries and fill up their refrigerators. There are people who aren't living paycheck to paycheck and struggling. This economy and the way it's being ran does not faze them. And it's not because they are ignorant or they don't care. It's because they have systems in place where they know they're always going to make money. Those systems that they put in place are creating your own digital product and selling it on repeats, working with brands.
So the point that we're making in this whole situation is that you have to make a decision on what side of the fence you want to be on. You want to be on the complainer side, or you want to be on the side of the fence where people are making it happen and making the sacrifices so that their children and themselves can live the life that they want to live for the rest of their life. That's really what you got to decide. Real talk. That's what you got to decide. I'm actually going to see some real estate. I'm going to vlog it for the bag chasers. I like these. These are some of my favorite sneakers right now. These are some of my favorite sneakers right now. I love these. I know you ain't got these. You was too busy out buying swatches over the weekend. You know what I'm saying? I know you ain't got these. They're gonna get mad at me if I keep showing you too much. So anyways, let me read some of these super chats and see what the people is popping off with. Dame is the best NBA rapper ever. AD says TS Shaq is the best NBA rapper of all time. Leno says 100% a spending problem. Cut back on the BS, folks. Facts. DJ Kane says every weekend I see $750 to $1,500 bottle service tables being sold. Clubs and bars will still stay packed on the weekend. Struggle where? Facts. Facts. Mr. Lot says facts. I was at Prime and Proper. Oh, you was at Prime and Proper. So you were spending money. And everybody had full plates and tables. Talk to them. Talk to them. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I'm about to go check out the Hudson's building, see what I can afford. And if anybody want to give me a discount on a penthouse. All right. Bag chasers, I'm going to be posted in there for y'all. More updates to come. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I got 20 minutes to get there. Peace.